Hey guys, Lorrena Magaña here with new Filmmakers Los Angeles and NUVOtv. Today we're coming to you from the Filmmakers Los Angeles studios in West Hollywood. I'm talking to director Aaref Rodriguez about his new film, Avenues. Let's take a look at a clip from the film.
What's up, Ese? Welcome home, carnal.
So let's talk a little bit about your film, Avenues. How did you come up with the concept behind Avenues?
Avenues started as a short film that I did my first semester in film school at USC, and once I was done with it, it received some acclaim, and my professors told me to go ahead and investigate further and see what's the deal with this subject matter. It seems like you're really interested in it, and so I spent the next year and a half writing a script and another almost a year shooting and another year editing, and so I'm really proud of it. But the genesis of it came from a true story from a family from Northeast LA, Highland Park. And so we just followed threads from that true story of a man coming home after spending 10 years in prison and wants to connect with his daughter whom he's never met. Real personal tale, and I really connect to it because I'm fascinated with issues regarding fatherhood and what it means to be a man and reintegration in society, and I'm very passionate about people getting a second chance, people coming back into our society and having an opportunity to thrive.
It is a social commentary film, and I haven't seen the short, and I'm pretty sure that you just expanded on the fact that it is a social commentary, because we are talking about gangs and being Latino, and what it means to come back into a neighborhood where you used to gangbang, and trying to sort of correct and everything that happens around you, and how coming back from being gone for so long and trying to break those bonds, those ties, how it affects yourself. The main character,
Sure.
The protagonist, he has such a hard time. Like, you can see that struggle. And was it something that you sort of developed even further from the short, and was it something that you worked on with your main actor, of saying, this is what it's like, this is what you're going to be going through?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the short really played off a strong stereotype of the cholo, that look, and it really, you weren't sure if he was like a bad guy or a good guy or whatnot. You weren't sure about him. He was shady, and then you come to find out like the true nature of what he's about. Expanding that into the feature, we wanted to take that stereotype that you're talking about, the gangbanger, the tough guy, the criminal, and say, okay, here's a stereotype you think you've seen, and what we're going to do is we're going to take off all those layers of learned,
It's like learned behavior,
learned behavior, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to take that what you think you know, and show you a human being and show you a real person. And so the themes present in Avenues are universal. They're totally about fatherhood and the struggle to be a dad, and the identity associated with that, and whether or not someone can truly reintegrate into a society. So I'm very proud to say that this film is universal in that sense. I mean, we could have had it be an African-American father. We could have had it been a white father coming back home. It could have been an Asian man. It could have been whatever, because issues with fatherhood are universal.
Let's talk a little bit about the whole writing process. You started off as a short. How much of the script, the original script, did you keep intact from the short moving into a feature-length process? And then how much of it, did you have to go back to where the story came from?
I mean, there are some dramatic liberties, as I like to call them, because you have to make the story work in a sort of three-dimensional, architecture, and you have to be able to give the audience something to bite on and to chew on. But the short film is literally ribboned, almost shot for shot, throughout the entire film.
Really?
from start to finish. And what we went ahead and did was, I think the beauty of short films is that they can be sort of vague and they can be sort of open and leave you wanting more. Well, what we did was we fleshed in all that more. We brought in more circumstances. We heightened the tension. We brought in more dramatics. We brought in more intrigue. We really worked hard to really give this character a life. And I'm proud to say everything that's in the short is in the feature, all the way up to the last second. So if you watch the short and then you watch the feature, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I hadn't seen the short in a little while. Went back a couple months ago and watched it, and was just like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like, so after a little distance from making the project. So yeah, the short is absolutely the spine of the film, and I think in developing shorts from features, I mean, you have to stay true to what was this thing that like caused you to make this film, this short, and then if it's strong enough for you and if it's still gripping you, stay true to it if you're going to expand it out. So yeah, it's all in there.
What was the process like working with your actors? Because you do have a theater background. So was it easier for you to direct these actors? And also, I noticed that you used the same actors from the short going into your feature. So was it, you just had an easy cohesive dialogue with them? And what was that process like for you?
Sure, I mean,
on set?
I think like when you're directing an actor, I think you're not telling an actor what to do. I think you're just sort of having a collaborative conversation with them, and I think what you want to do is eliminate all the filters in place that people put up, the guards that people put up, and really try to get to that like raw inhibition in a performance. And so we worked with a real small crew. It was real intimate, almost to the point where you didn't even feel like there was a crew there, and you didn't even feel like there was like cameras there, and you didn't see the mics, and people would walk by our set and they wouldn't even think it was a set. They'd just walk by. There's just people talking, and we wanted that. We wanted that to be the case, because for us, having natural performances, having performances that really felt like non-performances was something that we wanted to obtain. And this film has a documentary feel all the time. This film has like a raw quality to it. And I think what people are trying to say is that the performances are really natural.
Yeah.
And that's something that we worked really hard to try to get, and I'm glad it's resonant in the audience. So yeah, working with the actors, me having a theater background, I think I wanted to direct an actor the way, when I was studying theater, the way I thought like a director should direct me, which was, sort of loosey-goosey and really collaborative and open to suggestion and open for experimentation. I mean, today's age in filmmaking, you can experiment. So,
of course.
So yeah, so that was the process in working with the actors. I wanted it to be like you said, working with the actors, not telling any actors what to do. Especially since this is such a small environment, it was completely open to that.
Thank you so much to our director, Aaref Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Taking the time to talk to us today about his new film, Avenues. This is Lorrena Magaña with New Filmmakers LA and NUVOtv, coming to you from the Camrich Showroom, Los Angeles in West Hollywood. Until next time, guys. Bye.